Ladies and gents, today you and I are going to practice using a number line to count back to help us subtract. Let's go watch our visual learning video to see how.
Find 580 minus 232. Use an open number line. One way is to count back by jumps of 100s, 10s, and 1s. To subtract 232, count back by 2 jumps of 100, 3 jumps of 10, and 2 jumps of 1. So 580 minus 232 equals 348. Why do you need to start on the right end of the open number line?
We have to start on the right end of the open number line because we're starting at the bigger number when we do subtraction. So we start at 580, which is bigger than 232. So we start at our bigger number and then we subtract and jump backwards to the left and take away our number that we're subtracting, which is 232.
On a number line, numbers increase in value as you move from left to right. When you count back, you move to the left on the number line. The number you start with will be at the far right of the open number line, and the difference will be on the far left.
Let's try it. It says place the number tiles under the number line to show the jumps. So our number that we started with was 580, and then we took away 100. Well, if I had 500s and I took away 100, that would be 480. Minus another 100 would be 380. And then I took away 10, so that'd be 370. Then I took away another 10, that'd be 360. And then I took away another 10, that'd be 350. And then I did one jump back, which would be 349. And then another jump back would be 348. So 580 minus 232 would be 348.
Another way to find 580 minus 232 using an open number line is to count back by bigger jumps.
Both ways are correct.
How many hundreds, tens, and ones are being subtracted from 580? 2 hundreds, 3 tens, and 2 ones are being subtracted from 580. How is the second way of subtracting like the first way?
In both ways, we're still taking away the same number of hundreds, the same number of tens, and the same number of ones, so that's how they're alike.
Both ways count back 2 hundreds, 3 tens, and 2 ones from 580. How is the second way of subtracting different from the first way?
The second way has fewer jumps because we're doing bigger jumps together. So instead of doing 2 jumps of 100, we're doing 1 jump of 200. So it just has fewer jumps.
In the second way, the number of hundreds, tens, and ones being subtracted are grouped into bigger jumps. Now you know how to subtract using an open number line.
Okay, let's go practice in our workbooks. Okay, we're going to start on page 644 in our workbook. So if you need to pause me to turn to that page in your workbook and get your pencil, go ahead and pause me now. And we're going to do these couple guided practice problems together. So for number 1, we're doing 425 minus 115. So we're always going to start at the far right end of our number line, our open number line, and we're going to write down our bigger number. So they already put it down here for us. They did 425. Now we're going to subtract. I always start with my bigger place value and take that away first. So in my number 115, I need to do the hundreds first. There's only 100 and 115, so I'm just going to make one jump of 100. And remember, we are subtracting, so we need to put minus 100. Okay. And we talked about yesterday how if I take away 100, my hundreds place will change. So I had 400s and I took away 1. So now I have 300s. So 425 minus 100 is 325. Now I can go on to my tens. I have 110 and 115. So I'm going to make one jump of 10. And I'm going to do minus 10. Now, if I take away a 10, only my tens place is going to change because I'm at 325, which means I have two tens. If I have two tens and I take away 110, I'm just going to have 110 left. So 325 minus 110 is 315. And now I need to do my ones. I could do 5 jumps of 1, but we're better mathematicians and we don't need to do little teeny tiny jumps for every single subtraction problem. So I'm going to do one jump of 5. Minus 5. So 315 minus 5 would be 310. The way I thought about that is that I know that 15 minus 5 equals 10. Or you can look at that in the ones place, there's 5 ones, and we took away those 5 ones, so now there's 0 in the ones place. So our answer is 310. Just like that. Let's do number 2. Our problem is 693 minus 218. We're going to start down here at the very right side, and we need to start with our biggest number, which is 693. Now I'm going to look at the hundreds first. So in 218, there's 2 hundreds. Now I can do 2 jumps of 100, or I can do 1 jump of 200. Either way is completely fine. It's up to you. I'm going to do 2 jumps of 100. So I'm going to make them kind of small because I don't want to run out of space. 1 and 2. So this one's minus 100. Notice that I label all my jumps. And this one is minus 100. Now that I have both jumps of my hundreds labeled on here, I need to find out what my jumps actually land on. So I had 693, but then I took away 100. So I had 600s, take away 1 would be 593. Take away another 100 would be 493. Remember, if you're subtracting hundreds, only the number in your hundreds place is going to change. So it went down, it went 6 to 5, 5 to 4, because we took away 1 and then 1 more. Now in my tens place, I only have 1 10, so I just need to do 1 jump of minus 10. Minus 10. Now because I'm taking away tens, my tens place is going to change. So I had 9 tens, minus 1 would be 8 tens. So that would be 483. And then I need to do my ones. I have 8 ones to take away. Now, I'm not going to do one big jump. I'm actually going to split it into 2 jumps. I know that 8 is the same as 3 and 5. And the reason I split it into 3 and 5 is because I can do 83 minus 3 really easily. And then I know that I only have to take away 5 more. So I know that 83 minus 3 would be 80. So 483 minus 3 would be 480. That's a pretty easy subtraction problem for me. Now I just have to take away 5 more. So 80 minus 5 would be 75. So 480 minus 5 would be 475. You can use whatever kind of jumps you want as long as you make sure you're taking away the correct number of hundreds, tens, and ones. So our answer for this one is 475. Okay, we're gonna watch one more quick video.
Using an open number line, like this, I can count back to subtract in more ways than one. For example, let's subtract 435 minus 223. On an open number line, start with 435. Place 435 on the right side because we are counting back to subtract. If I jump back 100, I'm at 335. If I jump back another 100, I'm at 235. If I jump back 10 more, I'm at 225. Jumping back 10 more, I'm at 215. And if I jump back the 3 that's left, I'm at 212. So 435 minus 223 equals 212. And if I make bigger jumps, I'll still get the same answer. Watch this. I'll start at 435 again. If I jump back 200, I'm at 235. If I jump back 20 more, I'm at 215. And if I jump 3 more, I'm at 212. Same answer as before. Whether you make smaller jumps or bigger jumps, using an open number line to subtract two numbers will help you land on the right number every single time.
Okay, let's do a couple more problems together. Okay, let's turn that page. Let's do number 3 together. So our problem is 451 minus 132. So we always start at our bigger number, and we're always going to start at the right when we're doing subtraction. So 451. Now in 132, I have 100, so I'm going to do one big jump of 100 minus 100. I had 400s, but I'm taking away 100, so 4 minus 1 is 3. So now I only have 351 after I took away that 100. In the tens, I have 3 tens. Now, I can do 3 jumps of 10, or I can do 1 jump of 30. Either way is fine. This time, I'm going to do one big jump. So instead of doing 3 little jumps, I'm going to do 1 jump of 30. So I'm taking away 3 tens. I had 5 tens, and I just took away 3 tens, and 5 minus 3 is 2. So now my hundreds didn't change, but I only have 2 tens in the tens place, and I still have my 1 in the ones place. Now I need to subtract 2 ones. I'm just going to do 1 jump of 2 because that's pretty easy to do. So if I'm at 21 and I take away 2, that would be 20, 19. So 321 minus 2 is 319. And that's my answer. 319. Now you're going to do number 4 by yourself. Remember, you can do bigger jumps or little jumps. It's completely up to you. Make sure you label all of your jumps. Pause me, solve it, and come back when you're ready, and we'll double check it. You ready? Okay. So I'm going to start at 735 all the way over here. 735. Now in 242, I have 200s. I'm going to do one big jump of 200. Big jump, minus 200. I know that I had 700s and I'm taking away 2. So 7 minus 2 is 5. So I have 500s left, and my 10s and my 1s didn't change. So I still have 3 10s and 5 1s. In the tens place, I have 4 10s. Now this one's a little bit trickier because I only have 3 10s to take away, so I know I'm going to have to do a little tricky math here. So I'm going to make 2 jumps for my 10s. I'm going to do 3 10s first, and then I'll take away my 4th 10 in just a second. But I had 3 10s and I took away 3 10s. Well, that would mean I don't have any 10s left in my 10s place. So I would be at 505. I still have to take away 10 more though. So I'm going to make one more jump of 10. I'm at 505, and I know that I'm going to cross over into the 400s, so I have to be careful with this one. I have 5 1s, so if I take away those, I only have to take away 5 more. So now I'm at 500, and I need to take away 5 more 1s. Well, I know that if I count back, it'd be 499, 498, 497, 496, 495, okay? Another way to think about it is like this. I have 50 10s in 505, and I took away 1 10. 50 minus 1 is 49. So now I have 49 10s. So remember, when you're crossing over those hundreds, there's a couple different ways to look at it. You just have to make sure you're double checking so you get the right answer. I did my 10s, now I just have to take away 2 1s. So minus 2, minus 2. 5 minus 2 is 3, so my answer is 493. 493. Nicely done, folks. Let's go down and do number 7 together. Okay, number 7 says, show 2 different ways to find 680 minus 237. Use the open number lines. So on our first open number line, we're going to make all the jumps. So we're going to show every 100 and every 10. And we'll see about the ones. And then for our other way, we're going to make bigger jumps. So let's start off at 680 on our first number line here, because we're always going to start with our bigger number, and it's going to be at the right end. And now let's do our hundreds. So we have 200, so we're going to make 2 jumps of 100. So 1 and 2. So minus 100 and minus 100. I had 680. Now I had 600s and I took away 1, so that would be 500s and my 80 still. And then I'm going to take away another 100, so I had 500s minus 1 would be 480. Now in 237, I have 3 10s, so I need to do 3 jumps of 10. So 1, 2, 3. So minus 10, minus 10, minus 10. I have 8 10s, minus 1 would be 7 10s, so 470. 7 10s minus 1 10 would be 6 10s, so 460. And then 6 10s minus 1 would be 450. So I did my 10s, now I just have to take away my 1s. We could do 7 jumps of 1 if we wanted to. I'm not gonna make us do that though, because that's a lot of jumps. So I'm just gonna do 1 big jump of 7. So minus 7. 7. So 50 minus 7. Well, I know that 10 minus 7 is 3. So 50 minus 7 would be 43. So my answer is gonna be 443. That's my answer. So I did it one way and we got 443. Now we're going to do it a second way that's going to be a little bit different, but we should still get the same answer. So we're still going to start at 680 on our number line over here. And we're still going to take away the same number of hundreds, tens, and ones. We're just going to show it differently. So we're still going to take away 200, but this time I'm going to do 1 big jump of 200. So 200. We had 600s and we took away 2. 6 minus 2 is 4, so that leaves us at 480. We need to take away 3 10s, so we're going to do 1 big jump of 30, because that's the same as 3 10s. Now I had 8 10s and I took away 3 of them. 8 minus 3 is 5, so I'm at 450. And then last thing I have to do is those 7 1s. And we already know that 450 minus 7 is 443. So if we do it with small jumps or big jumps, we're still going to get 443 either way. So remember, if you feel more comfortable making small jumps like 100 and 110 and 1 that is completely fine. Just make sure you leave yourself enough space when you're doing it. Or if you feel a little bit more confident and you want to do those bigger jumps, you are more than welcome to make your work a little bit quicker. We're going to turn the page and just do one last problem. Let's look at number 8. I'm going to read it to you and tell you how to set it up, and then you're going to solve it. It says there are 541 raffle tickets to sell. The second grade class sells 212 raffle tickets. How many raffle tickets are left to sell? So we are going to be doing a subtraction problem. So if we have these two numbers for our subtraction problem, what do you think our problem is? I'll give you a few seconds. Write it down on your paper right here. What minus what? It's going to be 541, because that's the total, minus what the second grade team sold, which is 212. Remember, if you're given a word problem and there's 2 numbers in it and it says something like how many are left, you're always going to be doing subtraction, and that means that you have to put the bigger number first, because you can't do a small number minus a bigger number. You always want to put the bigger number, 541, minus the smaller number. So now I want you to use your open number line to solve this problem. Pause me, come back to me when you're all done, and we'll check your work. Okay, let's check it. I'm going to start down here at 541. I see that there's 200s to take away, so I'm going to do 1 big jump of 200. You can also do 2 jumps of 100. Either way is fine. I had 500s in 541, and I'm taking away 2. 5 minus 2 is 3, so I have 341 left. There's only 1 10 and 212, so I'm going to make 1 jump of 10, minus 10. I had 4 10s in 341, and I took away 1. 4 minus 1 is 3, so I have 300s, 3 10s, and 1 1. And then last but not least, I got to do those 1s. I have 2 1s to take away, so I know that if I did 331 minus 1, that'd be 330. Minus another 1 would be 329. And I'm going to go back and label these right here. So 330. It can be kind of squishy, but as long as you're being careful with your work, that's all that matters. So my answer is 329. Great job. Let's look at your homework. Okay, here's your homework. So you're going to go back into the workbook and you're going to do these 4 problems to get some more practice. You're going to do numbers 5, 9, 10, and 11. So do those to get more practice. Then do your quick check. And after that, depending on what your teacher has assigned you, you're going to spend some time on iReady or MathFacts Pro, or maybe both, depending on what we've told you. And I will see you again tomorrow for another math lesson. Bye, friends.